So here's your assignment. Number 1, decide right now, today, before you go to sleep tonight, that for the rest of your life, you're going to be a progressive, active thinker. What do I mean by that? You're going to be a person who's always searching for a greater understanding, for more ideas, maybe for an alternative view, not just for the sake of an alternative view, but just so you can understand it, so you can choose from a greater level of reference. Decide for the rest of your life, you're not going to analyze things, you're not going to analyze them to death, but in those key areas that affect the quality of your life most, where there are huge consequences to what you buy into, that you're not just going to accept what you're told because someone's an expert, that you're going to become an expert as well, that you're going to take all information in and decide what you believe is right. And those areas are your mind, your body, your relationships, the things that we call our identity, what we believe about ourselves, your money, your economics, your potential, beliefs you have, the sense of certainty you have about what to believe politically, spiritually. These are issues that have consequence. There are only about a half dozen or so that really impact our life most. Decide what they are and decide to really constantly expand your knowledge in those areas. Become an expert. 2, besides being an expert in this area, if you are dealt a challenge in your life, I don't care whether it's a health challenge, a challenge with your children, with their capacity to learn, I don't care if it's something financial, make sure that once you get a viewpoint or two, you ask yourself, is there an informed opposing view to this? Someone who has a completely different view, and go pursue those. Make sure you know all of your options, or as many as possible, before you make your decision. Now, obviously, you have to put a limit on the amount of time you put into any decision making. Otherwise, you get into the paralysis of analysis. 3, cultivate the sense of uncertainty in certain areas. When you start being totally certain, you think it might be limiting you. If you got a negative belief, the way to get uncertain is ask yourself lots of questions, something you were sure of. It's good to make uncertain your friend, to get curious, to begin to wonder about those things you used to just accept. 4, decide that if you're ever in fear and you're trying to make a decision, that you will not make a decision out of fear. It almost always will be the wrong decision, unless you have zero choice, like it's an instantaneous thing. Decisions out of fear usually cause us to go with someone else telling us what to do. You've got to get yourself in a sense of certainty and say, okay, if I was certain, what would I do? If I was in charge, put yourself in that state, make a decision out of a sense of certainty instead of out of fear. You're much more likely to make a right decision. 5, develop a set of beliefs that'll give you certainty even during the tough times. People have often asked me, how have you made it through some of the challenging times? And I said, I think it's just certain beliefs, sense of certainty I have. Beliefs like I'm guided. Not an ego thing, just thinking that, you know what, I'm here to do some important work, and I feel like the right answers will come to me. That sense of certainty, that belief tends to create the answers. It causes me to find things because I won't give up until I find it. Or a belief that with the problem comes a solution, that our Creator doesn't give us a problem without first giving us the capacity to deal with it. I don't know whether it's true or not, but by having certainty that that's true, it's helped me to find solutions because, again, I know it's there. Or the belief that with every adversity, there comes the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. That core belief from a book called Think and Grow Rich I read years ago, I've remembered it. And I'll tell you what, I've applied it. I've always looked for a benefit. I wasn't just going to solve the problem. Somehow this is going to make things better. And because I felt certain about it, it has. Faith with work can produce virtually anything we're committed to. And that one has guided me in everything from the situation I just shared with you with a gentleman with his heart attack to virtually anything else I've done. Come up with your own core beliefs. Write down, this is what I believe, and allow it to create more certainty. And lastly, number 6, practice the skill of creating certainty and doing it instantaneously, like we did in the very beginning of this tape, because certainty is a skill. And the more you do it in your body, the more you'll be able to create it and tap into your real power. Practice creating certainty 3 times a day consciously. Create an anchor for it where you can change your body like that for the next 7 days. If you'll do this, I can promise you, you'll have a muscle that can help you to succeed at a larger scale than you ever dreamed possible.